Hello everyone, what is up? It is me, Ewan, from WhatCulture.com, joined today by Josh Brown. Say hi, Josh.
Hello, Ewan. Hello.
To talk to you all today about some Batman-y, Joker-y news, because that is the news of the day, and it's all very exciting. And Batman had to shut down production earlier in the year, which is very, very sad. But the wheels keep on turning for this franchise. Josh Brown, what is the story?
Yes, well, according to The Direct, who has got this information from their regular insider, Daniel Richman, there is, of course, going to be a new Joker for Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy. And there aren't much details to go on at the moment, but it seems to be going down the route that they're going to recast the Joker. They're going to have a brand new actor in the role, and that the character isn't going to be in the first movie, so he won't be showing up in 2021's The Batman, although he will be mentioned, but will then play a larger role in the second and third part of Matt Reeves' planned trilogy. Apparently, it's unclear at the moment, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be the main villain. It seems like Matt Reeves is kind of wanting to make Batman's Rogues Gallery this kind of ensemble thing. We already know that there are going to be multiple villains in the upcoming movie, and it seems like that is a kind of motif that's going to continue into the second and third, with the Joker playing a huge part. So yes, it seems like we're going to yet again get another incarnation of the Joker. Apparently casting hasn't started yet because the second and third movies are still a ways off, but expect to hear more on that front over the coming months, I guess, as they try to figure out who they're going to get on board. Because I think, look, every studio always has a hard time of casting the Joker because, the incarnations that we've had so far, bar perhaps one or two, have mostly been like incredibly solid and loved by fans. You are always working in someone else's shadow, but so far I would say that WB has managed to pull it off. You got Heath Ledger following Jack Nicholson, and you got Joaquin Phoenix obviously winning an Oscar for his role for his turn in Joker. But that's kind of the contentious point for me, because obviously Joker, which came out last year, made $1 billion. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people view Joaquin Phoenix as kind of the Joker of the moment. So if they're going to have that and also recast, it's an interesting proposition to make, to have these two different versions of the character almost running side by side, because we have heard rumors that Todd Phillips, or at least WB, is looking to make a follow-up to that standalone movie. So you're going to have essentially these two parallel universes working in tandem, and that is, for me, perhaps might make the movie kind of cannibalize itself in terms of, their versions of the character and the popularity of the character.
Yeah, I mean, the door was definitely left open for some sort of crossover, wasn't there? I think, the way Joker ends, he could have had, I think Sai had a really interesting theory. He liked that film way more than I did, but he had a really interesting theory about the idea of how Joker would reframe Bruce Wayne's parents' legacy and how that would inform a different kind of Batman, which would be pretty interesting. I think a Joker sequel is probably going to happen. I think all impulses are probably telling both Phillips and Phoenix not to make one, but then also money talks, so I would imagine that there is, quite a bit of momentum over at WB for that to happen. In regards to all the different universe stuff, I'm with you. I find the idea of loads of them operating in tandem a little bit weird. Not to say that that's unusual or that we haven't seen that before, because I read comics for crying out loud. There are loads of different multiverses going on all the time, but a cinematic universe is a little bit different. At the same time, we do have to ask whether Joaquin Phoenix's Joker would lend himself well to Matt Reeves' vision. We don't even know what kind of Batman film he's making currently. It's said to take loads of cues from neo-noir and books like The Long Halloween and Batman Ego, so maybe that slightly more 70s-ish Taxi Driver Scorsese Joker doesn't necessarily lend itself to the maybe more, comic booky kind of film that Reeves is going for.
Yeah, I think that will be the kind of main issue overall, because, for me, the things I liked about the Joker movie were the ones that were mostly disconnected from the Batman mythos. So to see kind of that version of the character become more ingrained with the comic book version and certainly the wider Batman universe, to me, might potentially rob some of the mystique or intrigue from that take. So I think that is probably the biggest issue, rather than, because like you said, money talks. This movie made a lot of money. The Batman's going to make a lot of movie. If you can synergize those universes and those fandoms, that would be a huge win in terms of, box office draw and stuff. But I think it's something that will be more difficult than it seems kind of on paper. But that's totally fine. Like you said, this is something that's happened in the comic book universe for a long time, and we're finally finally seeing that, especially in DC's slate, a bunch of different takes on kind of like on the same characters without audiences getting confused. Because for the longest time, it was like, we need to have, you know, a consistent version, a consistent universe. Otherwise, audiences won't be able to take it all in. They won't be able to understand, and we're gonna, you know, be impacted from a financial standpoint. But I think studios are kind of finally clearing up on that idea and realizing that audiences aren't dumb, you know what I mean? We can juggle more than two versions or more than one version of a character in our heads at the same time and appreciate both for kind of what they bring to the table. And like you said, Matt Reeves' Joker probably needs to be more in line with Matt Reeves' take on kind of the wider Batman mythos. So I think, you know, it's totally fine to kind of recast. I'm looking forward to it because I think there are a lot of great actors out there right now. A lot of younger actors, I would say, that are kind of perfectly suited for the role, because obviously Robert Pattinson's Batman is younger than what Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be, a lot younger than Joaquin Phoenix. So you would expect, at least in my opinion, that you would also kind of age down the Joker a little bit to kind of, maybe not to have him the exact identical age, you know, that's never kind of been a thing, but certainly perhaps skew younger to try and get away from the shadow
A franchise
of Joaquin
Joker, if you
Phoenix's
will.
thing. A franchise Joker, yeah. Someone that can stay around for a while. Obviously, he's been envisioned for at least 2 movies, which is also something that we haven't seen in practice before.
Yeah.
I know Jared Leto's Joker was supposed to stay around forever, but that didn't turn out well in the end. So they're obviously looking for someone who is going to sign on to a franchise at large and come back for multiple installments down the line.
Yeah, I was going to go back to the multiverse point, because I remember in my head when Spider-Man 2 came out and there was Daredevil that came out the next year, when I was like 8 or 7 or whatever, I was like, you know what, in my head canon it all exists in the same place, so don't let the studios stop your own head canon, Josh. That's my point there.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's words to live by, you and I'd say.
Exactly, and then also in regards to actually, you know, Matt Reeves, I think he called him Bat Reeves? Bat Reeves? That's what it's going to be called now. Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy. I like the idea, you know, we had the rumours from Forbes, I believe, it was either last year or the year before, I have lost complete track of any concept of time, talking about the idea of WB creating a new Batman cinematic universe with the likes of Batgirl, which is currently being penned by Christina Hodson. I think she wrote Birds of Prey.
So.
Christina Hodson or Christina Dodson, I've forgotten her name. She did Bumblebee as well. She's currently writing a Batgirl spin-off. The Nightwing movie, I know, has been put on hold to accommodate Batman, so there's something going on there as well. And lots of different moving parts currently going on into this franchise right now. And obviously Adam Cleary did a video the other month about, you know, Jokers that could appear in Matt Reeves as the Batman. And I know we had a chat with him before this actually came out. And you know what? I'm planting my big old bat flag in the Sam Rockwell mast of Sam Rockwell for Joker. Give us a Sam Rockwell
for Joker.
I would absolutely love that. No one can look at Sam Rockwell and tell me that he wouldn't look good with bright green hair and mad makeup doing a mad laugh.
It's a great shout. Like, honestly, Sam Rockwell is one of my favorite actors working today. He's so versatile, and he kind of has that manic, charming, intimidating energy to him. Even his performance in Iron Man 2 is like the best part of that movie. He can do so much with so little, and I think, you know, seeing him in a major role like this would be awesome. I think that's a great shout. I'd love to see, as mad as it might seem, I'd love to see Willem Dafoe try to do something. Is any kind of villain, it doesn't have to be the Joker, but is any villain. I want to see him go up against Robert Pattinson, especially after watching The Lighthouse. I want to see that.
Oh my god, what a reunion that would be.
What a reunion.
In fact, let's make a Batman sequel where it's just Batman and Joker in a lighthouse.
That's the origin story anyway. That's how afterwards Robert Pattinson goes on to become Bruce Wayne's Batman. He just has a stint. Instead of going off to learn martial arts, he goes for a few months to The Lighthouse. But for me, if I had to sort of like pitch anyone as a modern Joker, and I've said this for ages, and I've probably done your head in with it via in real life and over messaging and email and any way I can contact you, is Caleb Landry Jones.
Yes.
He's one of my favorite actors currently, and he is so menacing, and I think he's so good. And I feel like just he's kind of like got the look down already. He's kind of listen, Caleb Landry Jones is a very attractive man, but also he looks very, very intimidating, and he's got something scary about him. And I think just based off the roles that he's done before, I think he could absolutely nail a kind of younger version of the character without losing any of the menace or charm or kind of manic, erratic energy that you need to bring that character to life, I suppose. And it would be something to immediately kind of be distinct from Joaquin Phoenix's take on the character.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, I want to know what you all think of this Joker news down in the comments below. Are you disappointed that it's probably not going to be Joaquin Phoenix suiting up in his Joker suit alongside Robert Pattinson in the Batman sequel whenever that arrives? And also the Batman trilogy, what do you think of that going on? Please let us know down in the comments below. And also who you want to play Joker, because that is a very interesting topic of discussion. As always, you can find more stuff like this at whatculture.com. You can actually like, share, and subscribe as well. That'd be much appreciated. You can follow me on Twitter at Ewan Ruins Things, and you can follow Josh on Twitter at
Josh Brune with 2 O's.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Give us your best Joker laugh.